Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the hair that I currently have installed, which is the Dhair Boutique Cambodian Slight Wave. So if you guys want to see my review of this hair, stay tuned. I currently have about 2.5 bundles of the Cambodian Slight Wave hair installed currently, and this is the hair, as you guys can see. So I have about 2.5 bundles of the 20-inch because I am pretty short, so I like my hair a little bit on the longer side, and 20 inches is pretty long for me, and it'll pretty much like hit like my back, as you can see. So the hair is pretty long on me, but again, I am like 5 feet tall, so 20 inches might not be long on you, but it's long for me, so I usually opt for a 18 or a 20 inch. This is the Cambodian Slight Wave texture. When I received the hair, it did have a slight wave to it, but I do want to say one of the things that I liked immediately about the hair was the packaging. This is the box that the hair came in, and it is so cute. Like, look at this presentation. That was immediately the first thing that I noticed. The hair shipped relatively quick. I actually ordered it during Black Friday because I just feel like that's the best time to order your bundles, because hair can be very, very expensive, and I don't even want to say how much I spent on hair, but I spent roughly like $700. Ooh, saying that out loud sounds crazy. I spent roughly $700 between Dhair Boutique and the Yummy hair extensions that I also got as well. So I believe these bundles were roughly like $300, and same with like the Yummy hair extensions, except these may have been a little bit more pricey because they were a little bit longer. I got the Yummy in a 18-inch and I got these in a 20-inch because I wanted to see if I preferred 18 or 20, and it had been a minute since I had a sew-in. Another thing that I really liked about the packaging was not only was the packaging super cute, I love how the bundles actually came. The inside of the box actually has a satin lining, which I love because obviously, you know, cotton and other materials can kind of draw moisture from hair. The fact that the box had a satin lining just tells me as a consumer that the brand really just kind of thought about like the presentation overall, and they just put in that little extra effort. My bundles also did come like pre-washed, pre-conditioned, and ready to install, which I also love. Like I said previously, I ordered about 3 bundles of the 20-inch Cambodian Slight Wave, and then this is the hair here. So I have about like 2.5 bundles installed, and I feel like for 2.5 bundles, like it is like pretty thick, which I do appreciate. It's not as thick as the Yummy hair extensions was, but it is a good thickness, which I like. I also really like how soft the hair was. So this is just some of the leftover hair that I have, and as you can see, my fingers are just running through it very seamlessly, which I also really like. Another thing that I really liked about these bundles is they blended really well with my hair texture. Like once I straightened out my hair, as you can see, it blends like pretty seamlessly, which I really appreciate because I do have a little bit of a lighter brown hair color. Like it's not a dark brown, but it's also not a light brown. It's just like a little bit lighter than like a dark brown, if you get what I'm saying. So I feel like for me, usually when I get bundles, I have to dye my hair like a dark brown in order to match. But this time I did not dye my hair at all, and I feel like it blended really well. I saw a video of the back of my hair, and I was pleasantly surprised how well my natural hair blended in with this hair. In terms of shedding, I don't feel like this hair necessarily shedded a ton. I feel like when you get a sew-in sometimes, you know, you're walking around your apartment, you just see like those strands of hair that are just floating, you know, on the ground. I don't feel like I experienced a lot of that with this hair. Additionally, this is also my second time installing this hair, so I didn't do a review my first go around with this hair, which it looked really great, and the hair, like I said, it blended really well with my natural hair texture. But I actually wore this hair for my birthday last year, and I feel like it came out so great. It was so pretty, and the curls were nice and soft. So this is the hair. I actually washed it today. Yes, I washed this hair today. So this is the hair fresh. And as you can see, there really isn't any tangling. Again, there's not really any shedding. And like I said, this is my second time installing this hair. And I'll probably install it like a third maybe a fourth time, just because I really like how this hair looks and I like how well it just blends with my hair. I do want to add that I've gotten a lot of compliments when I've worn this hair the first time and the second time. I feel like there have been a handful of people, not everybody of course, but there has been a handful of people that have actually thought this hair was my hair, which low-key I think is kind of crazy, because I'm like, my hair is definitely not this long, but I feel like it just goes to show like how well this hair blends with my real hair. In terms of things that I didn't necessarily love about this hair, I feel like when I wore it the first go around and even the second go around, I don't feel like it held a curl as well as I personally would have liked. I usually use a T3 curling iron, and I think I have like the 1/4 inch barrel, so I feel like it curls really well and it gets nice and hot, but I feel like the curls don't necessarily like last as long. Like, I'm the type of girl, like when I put curls in the hair, like I want the curls to stay in the hair until I'm washing the hair. I feel like with this hair, I put the curls in the hair and I would pin curl it, and they would kind of like gradually fall throughout the day. They would still be relatively curly and they would still be pretty, but I feel like towards the end of the day or the next day, like the curls didn't necessarily hold. To kind of combat that, I would usually like pin curl my hair up at night just so it could maintain like some curl, but it was definitely very much like a loose curl versus like a tighter curl. And then the only other thing that I necessarily didn't love about this hair was I feel like once it started to get closer to like a week and a half, like 2-week mark, I feel like the hair would kind of like not necessarily tangle, but let's say it would tangle a little bit. Like it wouldn't get like super matted, but I found myself always kind of like just running my fingers through the hair to just make sure I'm getting out any tangles. And I always kind of like just kept a comb in my bag just to make sure like everything looked nice, because I want my hair to look nice as possible at all times. So that was definitely something I didn't necessarily love. I feel like when I had my yummy hair extensions, I didn't really worry as much about like any tangling or anything like that. So this was definitely a little bit of a new experience for me. I was slightly hesitant about reinstalling this hair, but I feel like I had got so many compliments the first time that I wore this hair, and I wanted something that was going to be longer, that I had to reinstall it. And honestly, I don't regret it at all. Overall, I really do like this hair, and I feel like I need to reinstall my yummy hair extensions like after this to like see like if I'm liking those just a little bit more. But overall, I really do like this hair. Again, I feel like it blends really well with my texture. It looks pretty. I get lots of compliments on it. Like I got so many compliments, especially when the hair is like freshly washed and blow dried. I actually didn't even flat iron this hair. I co-washed the hair earlier today, and then I just blow dried it, and this is the hair blow dried, so it's not even straightened. The only thing that I straightened was my leave out, and I feel like it just gives the hair like so much more like body, and it just looks very flowy and like weightless, which I definitely enjoy. Overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would I rate this hair? So for me, I would rate this hair about a 8 on a scale of 1 to 10, just because it just looks so pretty, and I just got so many compliments, and it just blends so well. And I know I've been saying that a couple of times in this video, but all of those things are very much true, and that's why I decided to reinstall this hair. So I would just deduct a point just for the fact that I feel like I do have to kind of like co-wash it or wash the hair like every week in order for it to kind of stay like nice and flowy and bouncy and not tangle. So I'm deducting a point for having to kind of co-wash it like every week, and then I'm also deducting a point just for if I don't co-wash it, then it just tangles up a little bit, which I personally don't like. Like my fingers will definitely kind of get a little bit stuck. Like you can see it just a little bit right there. So I just didn't necessarily like love that, but overall I do feel like the hair is very much like good quality. It is on the pricier side. Like I said, I spent closer to $300 when I purchased this hair, so I would recommend, if you're interested in this hair, definitely getting it during Black Friday or a sale, because I feel like you'll be able to get a little bit more bang for your buck. And like I said before, I have about 2.5 bundles in, and the hair is full. Like it is nice and full. And this is also like my second install with the hair, and believe it or not, I have had this hair in my head for almost, is it 10 weeks? Almost 10 weeks. 10 10 weeks I've had this hair in my head, and it looks this good. And this is my second install, and the first time I wore this hair I had it in for 8 weeks. So I feel like longevity wise, like as long as you're taking care of the hair, it'll definitely last, because I'm definitely going to install this another time this year, probably after I install the Yummy hair. So overall longevity is great. Overall look is great, and yeah, would definitely recommend this hair. Like I said, there are a couple cons, but if you're someone that's okay with that, then I would definitely recommend. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. We're trying to grow the community over here, and if you have any video requests, let me know. Shout out to the person who requested me to do this review, even though I said I was going to do the review. Thank you so much for giving me the push to actually make another YouTube video again, because you know it's been a minute. But thank you guys again so much for watching. Subscribe, like this video, and stay tuned for more.